Without further ado, it's time to start running!
Live from the City of Angels, it's Sunday night. I promise you we've listened to Messiah's Temple of Dreams, and here it is, baby. Breakdown.
Did I dream? You dreamed about me. Did I dream? You dreamed about me. Did I dream?
Back to the rave scene, 1992. And those Running Man samples. I was reminded of the track when we watched the Running Man trailer the other night. I was like, what the hell is this shit? No one's going to beat Richard Dawson. You can hear him in the background of that. It's time to start running. That's some serious 1992 rave right there, right? God, I'd give anything to go back to those days and be the rave DJ in the underground warehouse in Columbus, Ohio. DJ Web Slinger. I've had the weirdest life. I'm not going to lie to you guys. All right, get ready. I'll pull it down and get ready to go here tonight. Superman is out here in a few days, and it's not good news for Warner Brothers. A lot of this stuff that's coming in last minute is really the worst possible scenario for the WB. As you look at a film that has had some issues coming in, obviously, I've told you guys for many, many, many weeks and now months. I mean, good Lord, it's been forever. That this has to be a great film, right? This cannot just be an okay film. If it is not exceptional, stellar, masterpieceal, then we're going to have a problem with the DCEU going forward, right? And we have a big issue because one of the reviews that wasn't supposed to hit until, what was this? The review embargo on Tuesday? Well, guess who decided to break that? The Daily Beast. Do you guys see this right here? Terrible news, Superman is the final nail in superhero cinema's coffin. I mean, that's just brutal. I can't even, when I saw this, I was like, uh-oh, this is what I'm hearing. I told you guys. I've talked to numerous people who've seen Superman, and they're like, this isn't good. And now we've got the Daily Beast confirming that. Let's go in and look. So I'm going to read you just the first paragraph because it gets really into the weeds with a lot of plot points. I don't want to do that. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a live reaction, not mine, but everybody else's reaction to Superman. They're going to hit at 9 o'clock here in Los Angeles. That's midnight on the East Coast. About the same time we're going tonight. I'll be on tomorrow night going through those via X primarily, and we will get all of the goodies and lay them out for you live. That's always one of my favorite streams. When we first get those initial reactions for any film, it's always a blast to go through them and to try to decipher them, right? Because there is a lot of that to decode. We talk about how often that the studios now bring in influencers to pack those initial reactions with very positive, glowing stuff. And then you allow the critics who bring more of a hammer. I mean, most critics suck. I've said this a million times, guys. You know what we're talking about. There's like 5 that we approve. 5. Not 5%, 5. Okay? So that's how it kind of works now. The studios are really focusing on curating a list of people that will not bring the hammer down. Do you think I'm on that list? Did I tell you someone on X the other day called me a shill? I go, you clearly have no idea what that means. Of all the things you want to go ahead and throw out towards MMT and Mr. Weber here, the ace, you're going to call me a shill? That person is mental. I am the anti-shill, bitch. Don't fucking forget it. But when we look here at Superman in this review, get ready. You ready for this first paragraph? Again, we're not going to go all the way through it because it's going to ruin some of the movie. I don't even want to have it ruined, so I stopped reading. Let's go. First paragraph. Tasked with reinventing Warner Brothers' DC movie brand with an all-new DC universe, director James Gunn strives to combat such lethargy with Superman, a rambunctious reboot of the action comics icon that tonally and narratively is the exact opposite of Zack Snyder's grim, dark predecessors. It's a big swing in a polar opposite direction, and one that, alas, turns out to be as big a whiff, resulting in a would-be franchise restarter that resembles a Saturday morning cartoon come to overstuffed, helter-skelter life. Oh, hell no. That's exactly what the trailer looked like. They were selling us the exact movie. Remember? I made fun of the trailer. Go back. I was like the only guy who was saying this trailer looks like trash. Everyone was like, well, let's give it a shot. I love James Gunn, and I like his work. You look at Guardians of the Galaxy, talked about it a million times. If you give that to any other director, you do not get one of the best Marvel films of all time with that first Guardians, okay? I think falls off in 2 for sure. 3's maybe slightly better than 2, but neither comes close to, I would say, the brilliance of 1, because the way that he uses the music and just the directorial panache, it just really works, okay? So I like James Gunn, but not what I'm seeing out of this movie. I think what's interesting, we'll talk about this tomorrow, and of course my reaction coming up on Thursday. I'm going to save it for Thursday. Gives me something to do on Thursday. Go see the big new Superman movie and probably come out and hammer it here on MMT Live. But when you look at the time right now in the world, we are totally chaotic. It's an absolute mess out there. Politics everywhere. We're getting into that in a second with James Gunn. Just give me a second. And it just feels like this version of Superman should have come out back in 2013, and Zack Snyder's Superman should have come out now. It's more fitting, right? The world is not whatever this Saturday morning cartoon shit is. I understand you want to try to turn it back into that, but listen, man, there's just way too much of a bad vibe going in the world right now. We need a darker, grimmer Superman, and we got that with Man of Steel. So that's the thing. I wish we could swap these out, right? Let's go ahead and flip this to 2013 and give me Snyder's version now. It would hit even better. I love the first half of Man of Steel. I think it is nearly flawless. The back end is way too much with the Zod battle that goes on for like 45 minutes, and I was just numb, right? I was beaten and bludgeoned by CGI. It's too much. I like the grounded first half, right? That's how I like, man. We're going to talk about a movie tonight, A24's Sorry Baby. Talk about grounded and mature. It's my kind of cinema, man. You guys know that. I make fun at Film Twitter all the time because I don't think they have any relation to the real world. What makes me very unique is that I still have that accessibility to watch the stuff that is not going to be the popcorny tentpole shit, okay? And appreciate that, but yet not be some kind of blue-haired weirdo, okay, who has no real social life. You know, I know, because usually they go hand in hand, right? The typical A24 fan, not cool. They're just not cool people. They never would be. They even know it. They know they're not cool. So that's the thing is, I have that ability to be able to do that, to dip into both sides. I prefer to watch a Sorry Baby-ish film. I don't think it's a great film, but I do like a lot of it. But when you look at a film like Man of Steel and that back end, it's just like, oh, dude, just some restraint, right? Directorial restraint. So this is terrible. This wasn't supposed to happen. And Daily Beast, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that more of a left-wing kind of site? So it's not even like you can say this is Breitbart or something that is a right-wing kind of thing that hammers everything that's woke. So that's also problematic for Warner Brothers. And we're going to get a lot of reviews that I have a feeling look just like this. Do not be surprised tomorrow when we get into reactions that people say it's a mess. I think you're going to see that a lot. Mess. That's what I've been told. But, hey, James Gunn's like, I can add to the mess. Did you see what he did today? Oh, at least it came out today. He might have said it the other day. James Gunn says Superman is about an immigrant that came from other places and how we've lost the value of basic human kindness. Yes, it's about politics. What are you doing, James Gunn? We say it all the time, and I'm going to do it right now. The MMT verdict's in right now. Shut the fuck up, James Gunn. Your movie's coming out in a few days. Why are you going to politicize this shit? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do this? Trust, I don't even want to go into the comments on X. All the people are like, oh my God, another. This is what I'm talking about. Why are you going to introduce any kind of controversy to a film that is already in trouble? Warner Brothers is worried about it. My source told me that weeks ago. They should be. That's exactly what they said. The sources saw it early. They should be worried. And now I've got Gunn out here talking about how it's political. And let's talk about ICE. And I'm sure, does this say in there? I'm sure it does. Let's talk about deportation. Oh, no. Let's not do that. Even if it is, just don't say it, James. Here's what's happening with James Gunn. I was really weighing whether I should do this or not. So guess what I'm going to do tonight? I am going to do it because journalistically it's sound. And I got James Gunn in here talking a bunch of smack. He's now going back to the James Gunn that got him in trouble. Oh, do I need to remind you? Oh, let's just have a little fun here, everybody. You want to have some entertainment? Let's go ahead and look. Let me zoom in here. Let's go back to some of James Gunn's tweets that got him canceled. And then, miraculously, now the head of a studio, essentially, Warner Brothers, DC, right? And one of the big dick swingers over there. And speaking of, dudes, do you guys remember these tweets? I'm not going to read them. Do you want to look? Can you guys see some of these? Can I just tell you that if I sent these tweets, do you think I'd be doing a stream tonight? Dude, I'd be canceled. This is crazy. Dude, any one of these. Dude, look at all these. Okay, it's not one or two. These. All of these, okay? If you hit pause, you can see them. Dude, this is the kind of thing that no one recovers from. So how did James Gunn recover from it? Can someone tell me? How did that happen? Now I've got James Gunn talking shit. James, you were this fucking close to getting canceled, dude. And frankly, looking at these tweets again tonight, you should have been canceled. And you're going to start talking shit? James Gunn, the internet is forever, dude. And this shit is fucked up, man. Guys, go look at it. Don't make me read this shit. Oh, YouTube will ban me. I get banned for reading this shit. Oh, but he's changed. Oh, really? Why is there so many tweets? This is really problematic. Oh, but he already paid. What? No. Let's hit the timeout. Beep, beep, beep. I hit it. Coach, I need it. Fucking there it is. Listen to me. If I send these tweets, it's over. How is James Gunn running the studio? Can someone explain how this happens? It doesn't calculate. And now I've got James Gunn back to his talking shit stuff. James Gunn, you think I'm going to forget that shit? No way, bro. I'm not going to take it in to review your movie, but I can tell you this. For someone that sent this abhorrent shit, the fact that you're walking around like the cock of the fucking walk is highly disturbing. So let's remember that. And remember your place. Because this should have gotten you canceled forever. And I'm not going to read it. You guys can Google it. You can look for it. And by the way, if you don't like that, don't send tweets like that. Pretty simple. And that's that. Let me get some comments here. There's a lot, dudes. That was an absolute epic slamming of everything. And by the way, there's no one in this space that does what I do. There's no one. So I don't care where you go. You're not going to get that from Stuckman, Johns. You're not getting Nerdrotic. You're not getting any of this shit. Nah, dude, there's no one that even comes close. It's not a contest. Is this the truth? Nobody goes this hard and is objective about it. Everything I said here tonight, fair and journalistically sound. Don't even start with me with deep focus lens. Oh my God. Wait, someone says something here. Hold on. You're talking about an industry that still gives Roman Polanski standing ovations. Yeah, but listen, does Roman Polanski still work? Let me ask you that. Does he still work? No. I mean, I don't know. What's the last film he even directed? It wasn't released here, right? I mean, he's persona non grata, but yet this guy is running a studio. I mean, do you understand the difference, right? I know what you're saying, Mount Fillmore. I'm not suggesting to you that this town is full of choir boys. Okay, but it still is like, are you kidding me? I mean, it's just, what's wild to me is, right, the double standard. If this were someone on the right, right, because James Gunn's definitely on the left, no question. If there's someone on the right who sent all that shit, do you think they'd ever come back? No. So why is it that some people get a pass? I've told you guys a million times, the number one thing that I want is objective. I want it to be fair, that if something occurs, you're going to look through the lens of right or wrong, not political party or whichever ideology you embrace. It's about the simple question of right or wrong. That is it. So, you talk about putting it through the lens of that, then that's it. It's that simple. I've never once, and I've talked about this a million times when I do these evaluations on this channel, as you guys know. I do not bring my politics into the movies. I don't want it there, because you have to be as objective and fair as possible when you go into these things. And everything I've said, what I just brought up about the past and James Gunn, is objectively right in front of you. It's not like I'm making this shit up. That's slander, right? Me coming out and saying, these are the things. No. These are things that are right in front of you, right, that I can't read. If I read, they're going to absolutely cancel my channel. I mean, if I read those tweets right now, this channel would be gone. I mean, it might even be gone within 24 hours. The fact that listen, I didn't write those. I can show those. Come on, guys. It's like, but my point is if I start reading that, dude, first of all, just the bot going through and looking at the breakdown, they're going to go, nope, get rid of this. All right, let's watch a trailer. I need a second. We'll go back to Superman. There's a lot to talk about with Superman, trust me. But let's watch a trailer quickly, because I didn't get a chance to see this. I'm going to talk about the Odyssey coming up momentarily. I just got out of AMC to watch the trailer for the Odyssey. And that is, of course, Christopher Nolan's new film coming out a year from now. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that now, and then we'll watch the trailer. Okay, let's talk about the Odyssey. I just watched it. It's maybe a minute long or so, and I pull up the article here, and you can see, as I go to it, bang, that there are some versions of it going around online. I don't think it's very good quality, but just to walk you through what you see when you watch this teaser trailer, it is actually attached to Jurassic World Rebirth, right? So basically, let me explain. So when you go to see Jurassic World Rebirth, you get all the normal trailers, and then you get the AMC shit, and then you think the movie's going to start, and no, here comes another preview. It's a year from now. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey opens up on the ocean. You have some shots of a boat far off, and then you intersperse Tom Holland and John Bernthal having a conversation about Odysseus, who is Matt Damon, and Matt Damon's in the boat as we go back and forth between the conversation around a campsite, essentially, and they're talking about how Odysseus is this total fucking badass that cannot be killed, and he will come back for vengeance, and it goes back and forth. Now, let me tell you, the one thing as I watch this trailer, and I know some of you have seen this, with John Bernthal, I have to discuss it. We talked about it coming out of The Accountant 2. I've seen his work in a number of films. One thing that John Bernthal does is he leans into shit too much, man. When you're watching this teaser trailer, he's going, yeah, but he's just this, like he's doing John Bernthal. And I just wonder how Christopher Nolan, because I feel like Nolan, man, if Nolan gives you a note, you're going to listen to it. I don't care who you are as an actor. Look at Robert Downey Jr., one of his best performances when you look at Oppenheimer, one of the best performances he's ever given, right? I think that Christopher Nolan is obviously one of the smartest, if not the preeminent director working in the space today. So if he comes up to you and says, hey, I need you to do this. So when I'm watching Bernthal, I'm like, this is kind of too much, man. I mean, listen, it looks Nolan-y. It's got a cool little eerie kind of score going on. But is it worth running out to see Jurassic World Rebirth? No, it's not, because it's going to be online here any day. But kudos to Universal. Very smart. On a marketing play here and a ticket sale play, you had people coming in to see Jurassic World to watch that. I literally watched the trailers and got up and left and then came out here to do the stream. That's why I was late tonight. I had to catch the trailers. I wanted to at least see it. And it was a cool moment to have that kind of pop up on screen. And let me tell you, one thing that I was definitely aware of watching that trailer, that typically, you know, we are so involved in film Twitter and online, knowing that it feels like everybody is aware of everything going on in the world of film. Well, I got news for you. When I went to go watch Jurassic World tonight, as they get ready to start the movie and it says preview, I was the only person in the entire theater that goes, the Odyssey. And trust me, anyone in the screen, Theater 15 tonight, heard me. No one. And they all were like, what? What's this guy talking about? Here, because, see, I know that. You probably knew that. But the average person, man, they're not really dialed in. You think they are. They're not. They don't watch MMT. Clearly, look at the views. But the reality is most people are not part of that tiny niche subset of film Twitter. They are more just regular folks, especially in a Jurassic World movie. You know, you're talking about a film that opened at 300 plus million this weekend. Not a great film, but look, why do they make another Jurassic World? Because it opened at 300 million. It'll probably end up at 600 million, not a billion. There's no chance this film gets to a billion. It's not nearly strong enough, and we just did it 3 years ago. People are kind of dinosaured out, but they still go to see it at 300 million for an opening weekend worldwide. So you ask, why do we keep getting these? Because Universal cannot make an original film that's going to open with 300 million. Okay? The key here is, this is what I was thinking about on the drive back from the beach today, is the key is, what I want to start doing as a studio is I want to make a movie for like 20 million and have it make 100 worldwide, right? So that's a 5x multiple, and I really need a 2.5, 3 to be profitable. If I make a $20 million film and it makes 100, then I am banking 40 plus million, okay? That's how I think as a studio head. I want my budgets to be lower, but I want the quality to be good. The opposite of Jason Blum, who gets a really, really low budget and then gives you a garbage film. I want to make an awesome $20 million film and then have it do 100. I know it's easier said than done, but that's, I think, the recipe for success, because then you don't have to worry so much about a film going off at 700 million to be profitable. You know, it is tricky because a $20 million film is not going to get you that giant tent pole. So you have to make a really great film that is going to sell on word of mouth. And I don't know if we do that anymore. I just don't know if we have the capability to do that. And I would love to have ability to be part of that, because I believe that there's nobody in this space, you guys know this, that goes as hard, that's as objective, as talented, fearless, everything that you need to put into an evaluation of not just a script, but also the final product, and to clean things up and get things exactly where they need to go to give you the best possible version of the film you're trying to make. Most people cannot do that. They just can't. They can talk about it. Listen, I said this a million times in life. It's one thing to want to do something. It's another thing to be able to do it. These are two different things. What you really want is someone who wants to do it and then has delivered and can. Okay? These two things, and most people only have first part of that. I want to do it. Just because you want to do something doesn't mean you're good. Okay? I've said this a million times. I've done the stream for how many hours now? Hundreds and hundreds of hours, okay? I did live television for hundreds and hundreds of hours, thousands of hours. When you get all of those reps, you have way more proficiency at doing this than the average person. And I would argue, even after doing this for just a short amount of time, better, because initially you still have to have talent. If you do not have talent at what you want to do, it doesn't matter how much you want it. You can want it really bad, but if you are not that talented, it will never work, okay? I'm sorry, it's the reality. I know the world tells you differently a lot of times, and certainly the young kids have been told that they're all so tremendously gifted and all aren't they so special. It's not true. It's 100% not true. the average person is skilled in certain areas, and you have to find whatever that area is. You may not gonna fit in this. It's not gonna work. You got to find something else that's gonna work for you. Okay, that's the key. In this space, this is exactly what I do, and I do it better than anybody else. And I would love to have a chance to build on a small film and turn it into a big hit. Because first of all, we'd never release a garbage film. I would just backgrill it. I'd say it's out of here. Get it out of here. I don't even want it out. We're not releasing this. It's not good enough. Literally a quality standard, right? This isn't strong enough. We're not putting it out. I swear to God, I would just cut losses, or I just dump it on streaming. I definitely not put it in theaters. If I thought it was bad, I would say, what streaming service do we have? Peacock, put it on that. Pretend it doesn't exist. Let's pretend it's like a Netflix movie where no one cares. And you basically put it on Netflix. No one cares. So that's what you have to do. You have to have a very high quality control, and most studios don't. I mean, A24. We're going to talk about Sorry Baby here in just a few minutes. When you look at Sorry Baby, I think it is a strong film. It's not a commercial film. It's not a film that's going to do $100 million, okay? No chance. And I'm sure the budget was like $1 million max, $2 million. I mean, it's very, very low budget. But there is an opportunity there within that space if you find talented writers delivering unique scripts to turn it into something. But the studios these days don't even think that way, right? They just are so old school. Let's regurgitate everything over and over and over. It's time for the MMT trailer reacts. Let's go ahead and watch one that I have not seen. Obviously, that's how we like to do this. I don't like to be prepared. I have not watched trailer number 2 for Weapons. This is one of my most anticipated films of the year. When you look at Zach Cregger, he's coming off of Barbarian. Directorially, what an impressive film. I don't love exactly how the film borrows heavily from Don't Breathe. Okay? But I do believe that directorially, Zach Cregger's got a hell of a lot of talent. And we're going to watch this trailer number 2, one of the most anticipated films of the year. Comes out here in about a month. This is Weapons.
I just want to say how very sorry I am for...
She should be locked up until she tells us what happened.
The truth is that I want an answer just as bad as all of you.
We're talking about 17 kids in one classroom. I want to know what happened in that classroom. Why just her classroom? Why only her?
This is my kind of tone, right? Like just dark, deeply serious. Kids are missing. So tonally, I just pray that this film stays exactly with what I am watching right now.
I love those kids.
This is a true story that happened right here in my town. A lot of people die in a lot of really weird ways in this story, but you're not going to find it in the news.
Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them. What do you see that I don't?
Show me. Where did you go?
There's something very, very wrong going on.
No, it's got a little Bring Her Back going on, right? You guys see it? I'm a big fan of Bring Her Back. And if you haven't watched that yet, probably on streaming soon. I don't think it's in theaters anymore. But if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about with that shot.
Come on, what am I looking at?
Leave the investigating to the investigators.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Rewatching. Rewatching. Rewatching.
Yeah, I mean, listen, nothing changes after watching that. This will be my most anticipated film of certainly the end of the summer. But I think even going forward, just where I want to be in a very grim, right, depressing horror film. That's what we need. We need more of that, not the cartoonish, goofy shit, right? Tonally, like an Evil Dead Rise. No fear whatsoever in that film, right? This film is really latching into that fear of any parent that has a missing kid. I mean, good Lord, there's nothing more terrifying than that. So if Krager stays in the very dark finish, like, listen, if you ask me what I'd love to see out of this film, I'd love to see it just go really, really dark at the end, because that's what really defines a great horror film, is the ability to give no fucks about the audience. Just completely and utterly rip their heart out. Okay? And that is what I pray happens here with this film. That is my sincere hope. And Zach, go for it, bro. I know Roy Lee, who is a producer on this film, watches MMT. And Roy, I mean this. If I can see it early, I swear I'll say nothing. Listen, my word's my bond. If I tell somebody I'm not going to do something, I don't do it. Right? DMs, great example. Get directors send me DMs all the time. Okay? I can't tell you who sends them, because obviously that would be journalistically, no. You don't do that. You do not ever reveal your sources. And if I were to go to a test screening of weapons and give feedback, I'm not going to talk about that here. You guys, I know that sounds like I'm going to. I'm not. You got to understand, if I see it in a theater and it's a regular, of course I'm going to talk about it. But if it's a test screening and they're bringing me in to say, hey, what are your notes? And here's the thing. I talk about it all the time. It sounds egotistical to say what I just said, but I've proven myself countless times. Name somebody else in the space that you would trust to go in and evaluate a film and tell you where this works and where it doesn't. You're certainly not going to go to somebody like the chin-stroking, cinephilic Robert Daniels, who speaks to nobody. I mean, literally no one. Okay? You can't go for people like that because they don't relate to a normal person in any shape or form. And when you get someone like that in a room, they're going to give you terrible advice. I am, and I've brought this up a million times, the reason that I'm better than anybody in the space is I was raised in Columbus, Ohio, the test market of the universe, okay? Everything was brought into the center of Ohio, and we were all given a chance to sample it and then give feedback. We had restaurants, we had beers, we had anything, you name it. It was all brought in and said, does it work in Columbus, the everyman town? So I have that. And then I have and I always knew this from when I was a young age, I knew I didn't belong in Ohio. I like Ohio. I'll probably end up in Ohio at the end of the day. You know, not right now, but down the road, because it's home for me. But coming out to LA, this is where I felt most at home for who I truly am. And it's very artistic and certainly film loving. This is the place to be, okay? And I always wanted to get here, and once I got out here, I go, this is where I want to be. So being able to straddle the line between the mainstream Ohio and the very cinephilic LA, right? That is very unusual to be able to do it well. And that's why I'm better than virtually anybody in this space, because I believe the experiences that you have as a person throughout your life, they shape you, and all of those things make you who you are. I have lived a life and done so many different things you have no idea. And that all builds into the ability to see these films through these different lenses, because I've lived different lives. And that helps. And then also reps and getting to really learn the craft. And once you get all of those things together, then you have that ability to magic eye this shit and pull apart, extract, and really extend every element and go through each element like I'm watching Minority Report, right? Cinematography, editing, score, right? Performances, screenplay, direction, overall. You're literally looking at this thing and literally cranking up the knob to whatever level we're at. This is not a skill that most people have. I'm sorry, it just isn't. Otherwise, there'd be a million people doing what I do. They can't. There are, but they're not good. I mean, dude, I've watched some YouTubers, and I literally watch and I go, who told you that you should do this? In fact, I would argue that the majority of times that I watch someone who is trying to do what I'm doing in the space now, but I've done it as long as a lot of these people, the reaction is, who said you were talented. That's all I'm asking, because I don't know who it was, because you're delusional, dude. This isn't even good, okay? I mean, I'm not kidding you. It's not even watchable, right? And let's just be honest with each other. Some people are more interesting to watch than others. I've watched some people on YouTube and I go, who the fuck said you're interesting? You're boring. Jesus criminy, man. You're dull. And let me tell you, of all the things people call me, no one's ever said you're boring. Never. And it's not even an act. This is just what it is. I am letting it rip. Every time we do one of these streams, I'm letting it rip. And most people cannot let themselves rip because they're like, I don't know if it's safe. I'm not going to. You fucking walk the tightrope and you do it, okay? I was a little late tonight because I was trying to get some shit together, but truthfully, I wasn't even ready. I just said, let's just go. Whatever happens, happens. That's what we do on this channel. I don't need a lot of prep time, okay? Sometimes I will miss some stuff that I wanted to say, and I'll get at the end of the stream like, I forgot. Who cares? It's live. I don't have to go in here and edit all this shit. It makes it easy. Like tomorrow night, the Superman stream's gonna be cake. You know how easy that is for me to look at X and like read a tweet and then go off of that and riff? So easy. All right, let's get ready to do the Sorry Baby MMT evaluation. It is the new A24 film that is slowly making its way across the country. They platformed this, New York, LA, and then I think it's going to be one of these films that's not going to go very wide because it is not a very big piece of the pie kind of film, right? It's niche, okay? It's not weird A24, it's just mature and very much not for the McDonald's consuming film goer like Jurassic World, right? But you knew that, it's A24. But this one maybe even more so. It's time for the MMT evaluation of Sorry Baby. Here's a piece of the trailer.
Oh my God! I made it!
Do you miss me, even though you're married?
So grown up.
It's so grown up.
School was like, oh, grad school was, oh.
I like it here, though.
Are you sure?
What are you up to this fine evening?
I was wondering, do you have, like, stuff that makes a fire?
Why do you need it?
My friends and I were gonna make, like, hot dogs.
Hot dog sounds good.
I'm sorry, we only bought 2 hot dogs.
That's a lot, right? Still being here.
Well, it's a lot to be wherever. Something pretty bad happened to me.
Did it just happen?
No. It was a little over 3 years ago.
Well, that's not that much time.
I know this is hard to talk about.
It doesn't feel that you know that.
We know what you're going through. We are women.
What?
I know you're scared, but you're okay.
There's some ways people treat you like you're a person who lives and breathes and thinks for themselves. And then some ways people treat you are not that way.
Here we go, get ready.
I can feel in my body that it was really bad. But there's a reason, even if I can't see it, that I'm alive.
See, these are the kind of films I love watching, right? Totally grounded, totally character driven, nothing sensational happening in the film is going to take you out of the film. I mean, there's some dark stuff that occurs to Eva Victor, the director here, her debut, her character, but it feels very much, as I like to talk about often with these films that are grounded, it's real life. It doesn't feel like I am being forced into a situation. And I think what Eva does really well with this film, it's very mature, okay? Character driven, as I just mentioned. And overall, as a directorial debut, she shows a remarkable level of patience. She allows some scenes to go a little longer than you might expect, but I think the payoff is it allows us to know these characters a little bit more as we get into where this film turns into something a little bit more, dare I say, sinister than you're led to believe in that trailer. You get a touch of it, but not as much as you will when you watch the film. Now, it's not a horror film, okay? It's not even close. But I think what you're dealing with here is a character who is trying to overcome trauma. And we've seen this in how many movies, right? But again, because of the way that Eva directs this and the way she allows the film to breathe, that it works better than the average film trying to do the same thing, because it takes a very special talent to be able to deliver this film the way that it is. Okay, it's just unique in a way that until you see it, you won't know. I can only describe it so many ways until I say you really need to check it out. Because what I love to discover when I watch a director who's going through a debut like this, I go back and I look at a Rose Glass when I was watching... What was it called? Oh my God, what was Rose Glasses? I list Saint Maud. I literally, this is what happens when you're doing a live stream. Like, what was Saint Maud? Love Saint Maud, okay? Such a strong debut. And here, I don't know, it's not as strong as Rose Glass's debut, but it's a different film, okay? This isn't a flashy film. This is, everything's pretty much on a tripod, right? Everything is not, it's very classical in the way that it delivers. The score really elevates this thing because it's very elegant. It just works. It's A24 rarely misses on scores, okay? And again, whoever here's what I hear about A24. That if you're working for A24, they will recommend certain cinematographers and or composers. Great examples of Michael Levi, right? Go back and look at Zola. Zola has a really cool score on it because Michael Levi did it. Michael Levi also did a bunch of stuff for Neon. Micah is one of the most talented composers in the space. If I were making a film, I would hire Michael Levi first and foremost, because I don't think it would cost me nearly as much as Ludwig, first of all. But I just trust in Micah's creative abilities to come up with something really rad, okay? But here's what I think makes this film even stronger than I expected. This has one of the best directorial moments of the year, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. And it goes back to Eva's choices. I'm only going to say this. It's an exterior of a house, okay? And when you watch the exterior of the house, you're going to see time lapse. I'm not going to tell you exactly how. But the way that it's shot, and you know what's happening, and then immediately following that, it's one of the best sequences I have seen all year in film and directorially, without question. So that is enough to keep me involved in your film, and certainly a recommend here. I'm going to give it 87% because ultimately you really want to have, I think at the end of a film, I really want to be left with something that really hits hard, okay? That's going to get me to push up on a number, right? You're asking me, why is this not in the 90s? Because I think I like the film. I think it does a very solid job of telling the story it's telling. But, for me to be jumping into the 90s, I need to feel a sense of, holy shit, this is like unbelievable. That scene I talked about with the exterior of the building, the house, I loved it, okay? But overall, there's some stuff here that I don't think just gets me quite, as I like to say, watch out, everybody, cinematically erect. But Eva, you are very impressive as a director, and A24, hey, it's a winner for you. For a while, we had a bunch of losers. It's nice to finally turn the corner and get back to some films that I can recommend from A24, because I do believe, ultimately, they have a lot to offer. Not many studios offer what A24 does, along with Neon. Also good to see Lucas Hedges back in this. Where's he been? I mean, good Lord. That dude, like, everything years ago. Where has he been? I mean, literally, I don't think he's been, like, 3 years. Did I last see him in Waves? Was it like 2022? Was he in? I mean, I don't think I saw him outside. Maybe it was something else after that, but it was, dude, he, like, disappeared. All right, let's get ready. We're going to watch another trailer in a minute. I'll hit some comments here if I can. It's all me tonight. That's why I can't hit as many comments as I'd like. I've got the comments in the corner. If you have it, you can see them there in the corner. So I will do my best to get to as many as possible. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Is that, we're going to watch Project Hail Mary. Okay, we'll watch it. It's the one I haven't watched. We'll do that in a minute. One thing I'm going to tell you is when I'm going solo here, it's just me. I'm not reading teleprompter, okay, guys? I've got my shields on tonight. You guys know these are the Sunday night shields, okay? They're perfect. They match the, background. Here's what I'm going to tell you. That I have to hit the buttons to bring the comments up and to push the buttons on the tabs and all this shit. So no one's helping me. Sometimes Gone Girl helps. Tonight was a little late. No big deal. I appreciate all the time that Gone Girl can help. But the reality is that when I'm doing it by myself, I'm going to miss a lot of comments. I'm doing my best. If there's a super chat, for some reason I can't find. There used to be a thing where I could hit the super chats. I'll look through. I promise you. If you left me a super chat, I'll get to it at the end. I promise you. And 100%, Jason. You have to have a great script. Listen, here's what I would take though. Instead, I'll be straight up with you. I would take an average script and a exceptional director, because the director is going to be able to do something with that average script. If you have a great script and an average director, you're in trouble. I'm telling you, the number one, without question, most critical position in any film is director. I know that sounds like duh, but no, think about it. It's not just about what they're able to do from a talent perspective. It's also about creatively, where are they in their head to put this story on the screen. I go back to James Gunn. I went off on James Gunn, and I think it's fair. But I mentioned, this is my Mick Ultra talking right now. Let me tell you that when you look at Guardians of the Galaxy, there's nobody who can deliver that film in the version that you got it than James Gunn. Singular directorial imprint. Okay, your boys at The Ringer aren't talking about that because Sean Fennessy's a fucking clown. My man right here, that's my term, baby. Singular directorial imprint. Okay, so all the other, the Justin Changs, the Robert Daniels, and the Sean Fennessys, you can worship to the high heavens of those clowns, but I can promise you this. Nobody, they don't come close to the talent I bring to the table. It's not even a fucking game, man. Not a contest. It's not. And if you don't like hearing that, Daniels, Chang, and Fennessy, I got news for you. Too fucking bad, because it's the truth. And I promise you it's the truth. And anybody who watches the stream knows it's the truth. And all the Ringer fanboys, let me explain something to you. I will destroy the Ringer boys any day of the week. If you ask Fennessy to do a show like this, it would be the biggest train wreck ever. That guy's a joke. Don't even get me started on that guy. I gotta listen. I somehow just Googled and I saw some, like, the Ringer guys have like a Reddit section and all the losers get together and go, well, Weber said that Fennessy is a joke. He's a fucking joke. I will trash that guy all day, all night. He's one of the most embarrassingly overrated people in any space, period. I'll do it again every stream. Go look at his reviews. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He literally reviews everything based on it's the director coming on his stream, on his show. He's not even interesting to watch. Forget it. I'm not going to talk about it. It's literally a waste of my time. The fact that you guys think that guy is like some kind of, oh my God, this is our God. It's unbelievable to me. It really shows you that, it tells me that you have no taste. It just goes back to film Twitter. When I watch some of these films and you go, what are you talking about? These people don't even relate to anybody. Of course you don't know. You don't even know what's good, so of course you think Sean Fennessy's good. You're clueless. So why would I expect you to think that know anything else? It's a joke. Is cinematically erect the same as MMT? I think, Felicity, this is fair. I think that's a very wonderful super chat, by the way. Thank you so much. Very kind for that. But at the end of the day, listen, cinematically erect has nothing to do with sex. Okay, it drives home what I'm talking about, right? When I come out of Joker 2, I'm cinematically erect. I don't care if you guys don't like that. It is for me, okay? So that's just what it is. I'm not gonna change like what's his name? Oh my God, the guy who runs the Next Best Picture. Well, I'm literally forgetting his name right now. That dude literally will go through and a bunch of reactions to figure out how he can piece together his own. Like, dude, why don't you actually have enough balls to just say what you believe? And I'm not talking about on a bad film. I'm talking about on a film like Nora, right? Instead of saying, oh my God, Nora's fucking unwatchable. One of the worst, it is the worst best picture of all time. And yet I'm told by Fantasy, I'm told by Next Best Picture, Neglia, I'm told by, you name the person. These people, dude, they're jokes. You guys understand, it's not even up for contest. Like if I were like just a random person and I saw a Nora and I came out, I'd be like, who said this is garbage? Please say there's somebody. And that's exactly why that's one of the biggest streams we've had. Because people go, because they know, dude, I'm right. And they go, why is this the only guy? Because I don't need the approval of the other people. Hell no. I mean, I could go into Superman and come out of it on Thursday and say, holy shit, this is amazing. But I don't know. I won't know till I see it. But tomorrow night, we're going to go over those reactions, and we'll do it live. All right, let's do it. Let's watch what was it again? What's it called? Whatever the movie is by Lord and Miller. Let's watch Lord and Miller trailer. I honestly don't even remember what it's called. Let's see if we can. There it is. Hey, guys, look. Can you see? Hold on. Let me see. This is why I'm better. The fact that I searched Lord and Miller trailer. You guys see that? Can you see? Up at the top says, and look, there is Project Hail Mary. Okay, here we go. 3 minutes. Holy shit. Okay, I will try not to interrupt too many times. I have not watched this, but Lord and Miller directing Ryan Gosling. I have a man crush on Ryan Gosling. He makes me cinematically erect. Here we go.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace. I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment, and I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. With the rest of us.
The sun is dying.
Oh, it's like Sunshine. I love Sunshine, right? That score, so good. Plus, it's just, right, we talk about going down on the ending. Amazing. Let's just go ahead and sacrifice everything. So good. I wish I saw Sunshine on a big screen. I did not. I watched it at home. So pissed. That's a film that I wish they bring back in IMAX for like a few screenings. Like, midnight screening of Sunshine. To get Danny Boyle.
You're the only scientist who might know what this says.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
We have a doctorate in molecular biology.
So he's going back to the teaching roots of Half Nelson, right? Remember, he played the middle school teacher. That movie had some things going for it, but then ultimately, I don't think I loved it as much as I think others did. But I like the idea of that film.
I need you to come with us. This is Project Hail Mary. The sun is not the only star dying. Every star was infected by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
I feel like they're telling us something. You guys know how I feel about Planet X, right? I mean, there's just too much going on with all of this, the galaxies collapsing shit. I mean, dudes, we're getting it all the time, right? All the shows about an impending disaster. Why are we all getting fed this information? Because I'm telling you guys, some bad shit's coming. I really believe that. I do. But we're going back to trailer. Here we go.
We don't know.
Which is why you build a ship to go there and find out.
It's 11.9 light years away. The astronauts die in space.
It's what you Americans would call a long shot.
Hail Mary. I get it. Who on earth is going to sign up for this?
If we do nothing, everything on this planet will go extinct.
You'll find a solution.
You are my solution.
I mean, obviously, we're talking about here Interstellar meets Sunshine, okay, with some comedy because it's Lord Miller. Of course, they're going to write a really smart, witty script. I think they're the two smartest writers in this town, and I've talked to both Lord and Miller at least one or two events up in the hills when I used to go to these things. I saw Lord and Miller, and I fanboyed out on them. And let me tell you that Phil Lord is like crazy, but also hilarious and brilliant. They're both like Yale guys. They're not stupid. They're really, really intelligent.
I put the not an astronaut. I've never done anything. I've never done a space. I can't even moonwalk.
way, not a huge fan of The Martian. I think it's very overrated. So just want to get that on the table.
I understand the stakes. I do. My place is in the classroom.
The world is counting on you.
There they are, Lord and Miller. See, I somehow knew that they were directing this. I'd forgotten all about this. You guys, I don't spend that much time on X anymore. I used to, like, let's look at I just go on and get off and do the stream. And if I forget something, typically I do whenever I do one of these, I'm like, I should have talked about this or this. But whatever, it's live. Who cares?
This might be very hard for you to understand. But some people are not good at things.
You know who you are. You're gonna do great.
I conquered zero G in 5 hours. Yeah.
Object approaching.
Oh my God.
Someone says the trailer's too long. I agree. It's long. We're almost done. It's a great shot. It's very Ad Astra-y, right? Oh, God. Don't even get me started about Ad Astra. I got robbed at the Oscars. Ad Astra greater than Gravity. Do not even argue that. Don't come in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. Ad Astra is a much better film.
So I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, which was a concern for a little while.
You can see the veins in his arms. Dude, can I tell you when I met Ryan Gosling? This is like my night tonight, me regaling you the stories of meeting all of these wonderful celebrities that were like, who the hell is this guy? Who is this Robert Downey Jr. wannabe? I didn't even want to be, man. When I put the goatee on, I wanted to look like Johnny Depp, and it failed. It totally failed. Okay. I mean, yes. Listen, I trust in Lord and Miller, and I think that if you ask me, who's writing this? And they said, Lord and Miller. Well, that's it. I'm good. How much do you want for this film? That'd be me. And this is Amazon, right? It will get theatrical because Amazon does that. It's not Netflix. Seriously, guys, we haven't talked about Netflix for a while. Can I hammer Netflix again? What a joke. Seriously, who works for Netflix? It's embarrassing. I feel bad for a director who works for Netflix. Like the old guard. Never saw one. I'm not going to watch two. It's junk. Right? Electric State, not a great film. I mean, the effects were they were solid. I'm not going to lie. But for $300 million, it was not a good film. Netflix is irrelevant, man. At least this film is on Amazon. We're going to get a chance to see it in theaters. And Lord and Miller, and I've said it a million times before, you go back and you look at their filmography. You go back to Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, 21 Jump Street. That's where you go. Lego Movie, duh. I mean, listen, when I saw Lego Movie, I was one of the first people to see Lego Movie. And I came out of the theater. It's like, go back. It's like from 2011 when I saw this, 2012, whatever year Lego Movie was. Okay. I came out of the theater and we only had like 100 characters back then on X. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be massive. This is so brilliant. The way this film is constructed and the jokes just hit. Smart, witty, right? Quick. Yeah, so you start to look at these things and you go, here come Lord and Miller, and now they have a deal with, I think Universal has a first look with them, or they have an office at Universal down the street from me, literally like 5 minutes from now. Actually, if I'm on my bike, it would take me 10 minutes to get to Universal. Running would take probably 20. I'm not the fastest runner. I can run, but I'm not Jesse Owens, okay? So when I look at them, I would want to be in business with Lord and Miller yesterday. So yeah, let's go. I'm down with this. I appreciate it, Kaibi. I mean, this is just a bunch of me winging a bunch of shit. That's all I do every single time. Damsel, I didn't see that. Yeah, no, Jacob, he is. Just quickly on, because it is me telling you the story of me when I met Ryan Gosling. Of course, you guys were like, wow. Ryan Gosling is at least 6'1". He's not short. And he's big. He's beefy. That's how I would describe Ryan Gosling. He got in the gym and got thick, okay? He and Ryan Reynolds, when I met both of them, I was like, you guys are put together. Now, I didn't tell him that. And I didn't tell them they make me cinematically erect, because that would be really fucking awkward. But I did go, man, that's a good shoulder you got there, Ryan. Both Ryans. And then when I met Jamie Foxx, that's all I'm going to do for the rest of the episode. Jamie Foxx is built like a linebacker. Okay, he's jacked. I mean, he's big. He's about 6 foot. He's not short either. And he's just like Jamie fucking Foxx. And I'm like, damn, man, I don't want to get punched by Jamie Foxx. I told you the story about Jamie Foxx, right? This is a true story. I trust me, it happened. You can ask Gore has to tell you this happened, even though Gore and I are totally like frenemies. No, we're not even, we're fucking straight enemies. Gore saw it, so Gore knows. So if you ask Gore this question on the stream, he's going to have to tell you this happened. This is the craziest shit ever. Let me again regale you. I'm going to keep. Now this is the multiple. This is going to be the magic word for the rest of the stream. We're going to keep bringing that back. So I go to the party, same place I met Lord Miller up in the hills. They have these big parties. I disappeared. Let me make myself bigger because this is very important that we talk about this. When I was at the party, Jamie Foxx is there. And, you know, when you go to one of these parties that is pushing Just Mercy, which is actually on my wall. You can't see it. It's right over here, right next to X. And Tar, Pearl, X, and then Just Mercy. But you think I would, like, memorize my wall by now. But I sort of knew it was back there. Here's what I'll tell you. I went to the party, Just Mercy, and you've got him doing the rounds, saying hello to everybody. So finally, you know, I'm not even like, the old me, when I first got into space, I was so excited to go, oh my God, it's Jennifer Lopez. Holy shit, look at her ass. It's unbelievable. I did. I really did. That was my reaction. I was like a foot or two away from Jennifer Lopez, and I go, I got to stare at her ass. I'm not going to lie to you. I literally was like, damn, that's a good looking ass. You know, I mean, really nice. But when I met Jamie Foxx the night finally, I wasn't even really that, I didn't do that as much. So finally, he looked at me and he goes, hey, and I went, yeah, Jamie, gay, I like Just Mercy. You know, I did like the film. I mean, I think it's great, but you know, you look at Destin Cretton, who went on to direct for Marvel. That's his film. And you go back to, well, shit, what's the school movie that I love, right? Where they trouble kids at the youth home. Oh, my Short-Term 12. Short-Term 12, love that film, okay? And all the great stars who came out of that, all the big names that came out of that film, Rami Malek, Brie Larson, on and on and on. Okay, but when you look at, sorry, dudes, this is what happens. I'm just gunning through all the shit in my head. It happens. Jamie Foxx goes, hey, and I'm like, why is he acting like he knows me? Okay, this is no joke. So, hold on, I don't have my phone with me. Let's pretend this is my phone, okay? So, here's my A24 box of Kleenexes. So he grabs his phone, and he puts it out in front of him, and he's shooting a video of me and him, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm not kidding. Gore saw this. You can ask Gore. 100% happened. I'm standing there, and he's like, hey, Robert. And he just points at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I go, I just went like this. It was so awkward because I didn't know what was going on. Jamie Foxx with his phone is shooting a video of me out of nowhere. And I'm like, okay, great. And he goes, look, it's your doppelganger. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Why? I'm going to tell you guys, I've said this so many times. I want to make sure this is 100% drilled down here tonight. When I added the goatee, now it's a mustache, and now no one can say that I look like Robert Downey Jr. I wanted desperately to be Johnny Depp. And the fact that no one has ever said that to me, they've only said, you look like Robert Downey Jr. or I got, what's his name, who directed the Thor movies. So you look like a version of Robert Downey Jr. crossed with Taika. And I'm like, oh, man, what the fuck? Why can't you say I look like Johnny Depp? That's what I tried to. It doesn't work. And forget the Johnny Depp, the guy who got I'm just saying the look. I wanted that look, and it's just backfired spectacularly for me. So anyhow, that was the weirdest thing. He took a video of me and sent it to Robert Downey Jr. saying I look like him. I know that sounds like something I made up, but Gore will 1,000%. He has to. Go on his stream, super chat it, and ask it. We have to ask it. He's going to say yes, and he's going to get angry. He's going to say, Weber's a piece of shit, but what he just said is true. Because, listen, if I say it happened on this stream, it happened. I don't make shit up. The Elizabeth Olsen stuff, 100% true. 100%. My other buddy Scott, not Menzel, another Scott I know, was there, and he saw Elizabeth Olsen totally hitting on me. Okay, it's true. I wouldn't lie. Jessie, what's her name? The actress in The Wild Rose, who I love. She was kind of hitting on me. There are people that saw it. I don't make this shit up. Why would I make this stuff up? It'd be weird. It'd be strange. The fact that I don't bring it up is actually kind of weird too, because I'm not. I don't care. It's just like it happens and you go, who gives a shit? I'm telling you the story because it's I think it helps you at least have some idea that what I'm talking about, I know. I think that's important, right? You get a lot of people out there. You can go watch whoever you want on YouTube, and you're going to get a lot of people, or X, wherever you're watching tonight. You get a lot of people that talk a bunch of shit. If I say it happened, it happened. And I don't even go through some of the shit that happens. So the point is that when you live it, that becomes your real knowledge. And being out here and living this and being in these rooms, doing these things, you know, when I back to the story, just sorry, I'm only going to regale you on one more story. There's quite a few. But when I went to see Armageddon Time, I remember the screening. I'd gone to the gym. I walked into Armageddon Time, and I was excited to see it because I'm a huge Ad Astra fan. I sit in the back row. I'm on the end, and there's a guy 2 seats down from me, and he's got a mask on. And he goes, "Hey, you're Eric Weber." And I go, "Yeah, how you doing? Who are you there?" And I had no idea because he had a mask on, like an N95, right? He goes, "Matt Reeves." And I'm like, "Oh, wow. How's the Batman 2 coming along?" This was like 2 years ago, whenever Armageddon Time was screened. This is what happens. I don't even ask for it. It's not like I didn't even, and then I just watched the movie and left. I didn't even say it. It's not that big a deal. I mean, it's cool that people know and they watch and they appreciate what I do, even though it drives Film Twitter crazy. But the reality is, Film Twitter cannot, and they refuse to acknowledge, and it's fine. You're just lying to yourself. You're delusional. That ultimately my impact in the space has been felt. Okay, I know that. It's not even a question. And the funny thing is that's not even why you do it. You just do what you do, and if other people recognize that and appreciate it, then that's awesome. If they don't really care. Why would I care? Yeah. So yeah, that's my thing. Let's get into the fun. But no, seriously, you guys don't understand. If I'm going to tell you a story, it's true. Why am I going to come on here? That's too weird to make shit up. Yeah, you know, dude, Ask Or, the Jamie Foxx story. No one's going to be able to corroborate. That's fucking hate that word. The story with Matt Reeves for Matt Reeves. Go ahead and ask him. Send him a tweet. Did you ever recognize Eric Weber at a screening of Armageddon Time? He's going to say yes. He's not going to. So that's the thing is, when you tell these stories, if anyone ever asked, they'd be like, "Yeah, he said that." And the film Twitter's like, "Fucking A, this fucking Weber guy." Why? Because authenticity sells itself. That is why. Okay, Felicity, thank you. Another super. This is great. Listen, Felicity. If you enjoy the show, that's enough for me. That's enough. Dinner with Ryan Gosling, dinner with Elizabeth Olsen, or Truth About Planet X. Which one makes you more cinematically erect? Well, I can tell you this. Planet X does not make me cinematically erect, because when you look at... Let's go look real quickly. Sorry, I haven't done this in a while. Just isn't going to take long. I'm going to look at the weather cam to see if we can see it in the sky tonight. Those of you watching, you're like, what the hell am I watching? Too bad. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. My theory is there's a gigantic planet that is orbiting us, and they will not tell us. No, I know what you're... Trust me when I say this. I know you guys are like, Weber's lost his mind. Too bad. Everything I said is true, so why can't I tell you that what I'm saying? Here it is. Let's look. Let's go south. Okay, so this is where you're always going to see it. Just quick, not going to take long, and I'll answer your question. Let's hit the show camera loop. Let's go back to number 1. Everyone look up in the sky. I'll tell you if I see it. We're looking up in about the middle. Okay, this is 4 hours ago. I think it was earlier than this. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Wolf Creek Pass. Give me a second, guys. This is why I think that ultimately YouTube's like this guy's problem, because they don't like me talking about this. Because listen, here's my theory. Let me just make this really simple for you guys. My theory is this: the people in charge, and I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about the real people in charge. They are very much aware. What the fuck? Is that the moon? Let's see. Hold on. We might see something right here. I think that's just the moon. Okay, hold on. Let me go to west. Where's west? South, southwest. Here we go. Give me a second. The people in charge know that something's on the way. Okay, that's the only way I'm going to put it. The people in charge are aware that something's here. They're just not going to tell you. Sorry, it's my stream. I'll do it. I don't see it tonight. But anyhow, that's... Oh, there. Okay, there. Wait, hold on. Stop. You guys look here. Look right there. Do you guys... Okay. Do you see that? You guys see that? I don't know what that is. Why all of a sudden is there like a planet thing that pops in there out of nowhere? And it's not like a lens. It's not a lens flare. Trust me, it doesn't move like that. It moves up and down. But nothing too real quick. Just because I've sold this, it's only gonna one more thing. Just because you guys know that, for those of you who've never seen it, it's really quick. Then I'm gonna answer your question. This is I didn't even want to do. MMT gets freaky. All right, here we go. Hold on, let me find it. Larson Bay. Give me a second, everybody. Sorry, Weber searches on X. Really thrilling. If you're watching on X, you're like, wow, Weber searching on X. There it is. Look here. There it is. See it? Right there. That's what I'm talking about. So, that is not a lens flare. 1,000% not a lens flare. And let me tell you something. This is a great picture. I have plenty of videos of this thing rotating. Okay? That stripe across the middle, right? So, check it out. This object has essentially, across the middle of it, like almost like a giant, I don't know if it's a ring. Honest to God, I really don't know. It looks like it has like a moat in the middle. You can see it, right? And then what happens is, do you see how look on the right side, it splits. Look at the top, it splits like a fork, okay? Let me see if I can zoom in even a little closer. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just real quick on that. Give me 1 second. And then we'll get out of there. Right there, that splits. Do you see how it looks almost like a fork? So that line essentially all of a sudden deviates and goes out. And I don't know, dude, listen, I'm telling you, that shit's in the sky all the time. This is not a lens flare. Lens flares don't appear like this. Let me see if he has video. Give me a second. And by the way, look, it says no such object appears to be visible. This is a garbage community note. I can tell you right now, it 100% appears there. Just because the Twitter gods. Okay, you're asking me, and then we'll get into your question. You're asking me why people. Here's another look. Look there. Look at that. See it? I mean, dudes, it's right there. Okay, but Jordan, dude, why is it always there? Why is there anomaly? Why does it always show up in the same spot and rotate? Can you explain that to me? Because it's not. Dude, it's there all the time. That's all I'm telling you. Okay. All right, back to the question. Let's answer that. You asked me, would I ask out Elizabeth Olsen? Oh, dude, Elizabeth Olsen. It's not even a question. I don't know why I even went into the whole Planet X shit. That's my bad. Sorry, Felicity. If you ask me what I want to do, I'm going to 100% have dinner with Elizabeth Olsen. God, that's not even... Elizabeth Olsen is drop dead, jaw-dropping... gorgeous. You're like, what? I mean, have you guys ever seen like the Bugs Bunny or whatever, or like cartoon, Aruga, right? You're like Tom and Jerry, like the eyes come out of the head. That was me. When I saw Elizabeth Olsen, I was like, I mean, it was like, damn, man. Damn, that shit ain't right. It's not supposed to look like that. No human being should be that hot. She was smoking hot. Okay. RDJ's playing Dr. Doom. Yes, exactly. Listen, Gamble. I mean, listen, I could be a stunt double at some level, right? I'm a little sweaty here tonight. Sorry for that. A few more minutes, we're out of here. I'm already at an hour and 12 minutes. You already got me 12 minutes too long, man. This is Felicity's fault for sending super chats. All right, let's do the comment blast closeout. I do have a cool song tonight because I got to save, not that. That's Planet X. Hold on. Let's add that. Okay. I got a cool song to listen to tonight. It is from a young producer I really like named Jack Willard. It's called Your Eyes. Let me pop it up here. Let me see if we got it. Okay, here. It's pretty chill, so it's perfect. It actually works for the mood here tonight. I'll hit as many comments as I can. If you have a super chat, I'll get to it, and then I will roll out of here and be ready for Superman tomorrow, 9 o'clock live here on MMT. We will do that. It'll be really fun because I love doing those streams with the reactions, especially the shills. We can trash shills tonight. Okay, I'm going through to look for super chats first. Give me a second. This is me doing my job of making sure that you get what you paid for. Like, Felicity, I'm not going to promise you that the $20, actually double 20, definitely not worth it. But I mean, definitely you got ripped off. There's no question whatsoever about that. But I appreciate it, as always. honestly, guys, I really do appreciate any super chat, anything. It's all good because every time I do one of these streams, you got to remember it's instantly demonetized because I play the music, I play the trailers. I don't care. I just want to do a cool show at the end of the day. Okay, good. I found it. Now I've got what I needed. I see Star and Live. I'm good. Okay. Okay, let's get to some comments. Anybody who sent one, I'll try to get to as many as possible. The Tex Avery Animaniacs. That's exactly it. Luis, that's exactly right. Looney Tunes, Planet. Yeah, listen, it's all good. Oh, really? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm right about Planet X. I'm just saying I always have an energy drink. Actually, my favorite beverage, I start every day with a Mountain Dew Zero. I am not paid by PepsiCo, but I can tell you that this is my favorite thing. If you ask me what one drink I would take to a deserted island, I would take a case of Mountain Dew Zero. Love this shit. I drink at least 4 in the morning. 4 to start, then I have a Rockstar C4 Ghost at some point during the gym day, and then I finish with a Ultra Zero. It seems like this is like a product placement. Yes, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. You go back and you look at Usual Suspects. Michael Madsen, too young, man, in his 60s. Then we had McMahon, who just died in his 50s. All these rare cancers don't seem so rare. Salsa. But again, guys, thanks for being here. And I love playing the music, man. It's just like cool stuff. This is, again, Jack Willard's called Your Eyes on Color Eyes. Really cool DJ set I listen to every week is the Color Cast. It's on Color Eyes, COLORIZE, like SoundCloud. And it's like melodic, kind of spacey, right? It's got a lot of just openness to it. This is my kind of stuff right here. Kind of soundtracky, right? But with a beat. Yeah, great character actor, right? And we, we need more of those. Paul Walter Hauser's an outstanding chemical actor. I've seen chemical. Character actor. I mean, really is. What a great. I'm not gonna shave it. There's no way. This stash is now who I am, man. It really. At this point, I just like it. I don't know if we'll have it forever, but I just feel like it's just something I have. We'll have it tomorrow for sure. I feel like for the Superman, I might feel like I need to wear the shades for tomorrow because it's just like I'm now becoming, this is kind of the thing. I don't even, I have eyes, guys. I have actual eyes. There goes the song. Okay, guys, that's it. We're not going to listen to it again. I'll see you back here on Monday night. Rare Monday night. Superman reaction stream starts at 9 hard start time. I will be 100% in on that. I'm not going to see Superman tomorrow because I don't want to know if the film is good or bad myself. I want to see what other people say, and then we'll figure out, and then I'll do the reaction stream for me on Thursday. We'll do that Superman out of theater reaction, hopefully earlier than tonight, maybe like 7:38 here in Los Angeles, and I'll go through exactly what works and what doesn't on my end, okay? The ultimate verdict, baby. MMT, the gold standard. Don't you guys ever forget it. Thanks for being here on this Sunday night. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Superman social reaction stream. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night.